Welcome to this edition of the Hoel Roofing and Remodeling Podcast. Today, our special guest is our very own project manager, outside sales rep, Cody Stephens. So, Cody, take a minute to introduce yourself. Tell us about your family and your hobbies, and we'll just start from there.
Okay, so I'm 25 years old. I have a wife, Marissa Stephens, a stepson. He's 5 years old. My hobbies as of now is riding my motorcycle and coaching my son's soccer team.
Awesome. So Cody came to us pretty much a year ago. It's been right at a year because it was actually funny. Rhett, my son, got hurt at Chris's diaper party. That's where we met you and Marissa at. And Rhett reminded us the other day that we went to a festival last weekend, and he reminded that he was gimped from Nick hurting him. So, yeah, you came on board there last fall, worked part-time, really full-time hours, kept your other full-time job until the spring, and then you made the jump. So, I guess just kind of talk. I mean, I just want this to be about you and your family and kind of, let people know who Cody is and, talk about, what made you attracted to come and work here and that kind of stuff.
Okay, so I'd say the biggest reason why I made the switch from a hourly factory job to a commission job where pay is not guaranteed is I had two of my really good friends who also work here, Chris and Nick. They worked for Bob for quite a while. They had nothing but good things to say about Bob, and basically just explained it to me, you make what you want to make. You work hard, it'll pay off. So I was just looking for something different. The job that I was currently at, I was starting to feel kind of stagnant. Wasn't really anywhere else to move up the chain. So I decided to make a change and do something to better myself.
No, we're thankful for that. And yeah, Nick and Chris have just been really good, and I appreciate you three. I appreciate the entire sales team, but you three have a bond that you've been buddies since sixth grade, and that just, I don't know, you guys, I love it because you guys will help each other out, but you will freaking ride the other one and challenge them and push them, and that's a lot of fun as a leader. Just because as a leader, that's always like my biggest goal is like, how can I challenge and push these people to be the best that they can be, and open up a possibility or just help them believe in themselves that they can do something different, they can do something bigger, they can do something better. And it's funny you said that they had nothing but good things to say about me and you didn't mention your other boss. So I guess when she sees this, your ass will be in trouble, Cody. So
yeah, no kidding. Emily is also a great boss. But yeah, like I was saying, they had nothing but great things to say about working for Bob and Emily and Hoel Roofing as a whole. So they definitely convinced me to make that jump. It was a scary jump, which is why I worked full-time at both jobs, which was not easy. It wasn't easy for my wife because I was constantly gone all the time, but it really did pay off.
Well, and one thing that I always say is, in anybody we hire, the spouse has to support them, but especially when it comes to sales, because sales is it's a hill valley. Like, you can be on top of the world 1 minute, and then the next minute it's like, oh my gosh, So that support of a spouse, and that's another good thing is all of our sales reps have good support systems at home, and I usually that's the entire reason that we do the spousal interview, just because I want to see what, how that spouse is going to respond, what kind of questions is that, a spouse going to ask? Because like you said, it's late nights, it's long days sometimes, there's freedom. You can take the afternoon off if you need to and it's raining and you want to, go out on a date with your wife, but also there's just a lot of hours in there, and you guys have potential to make really good money, but you guys understand to make really good money, you got to work really hard. There's that concept out there that people want to make really good money and not have to work very hard either. So, but let's so motorcycles. That is one thing that it's funny because you just that is one thing that you talked about. And you got Nick's got a motorcycle, and the other day I think you, Nick, and Chris rode your bikes out here for the company cookout. So I don't know, tell us a good story about a bike or something like that.
So I've been riding for about, I'd say 2 years. Started out on a Yamaha, and then had that for about half a year. And I was just bugging my wife constantly to buy a Harley. Finally, she gave in. However, I did get in a little bit of trouble when I bought that bike because I told my wife it was going to cost one thing, and it ended up costing about $1,000 more. So came home with a new Harley that cost more than she was planning on spending, and she wasn't too happy about that. But can't really complain too much because I take her riding all the time. So
why did it end up costing more, Cody?
Well, there was a set price on the bike, and my plan was I was going to talk the seller down to what I told my wife it was going to originally cost. I go out there, fell in love with the bike. He wouldn't budge on the price, so I wrote the check and decided to ask for forgiveness later, which I do not suggest to anybody. It does not go as planned.
Yeah, that's that. You got to have that walk-away power. So, funny story on that. Me and Emily's in Haiti on a mission trip. She's 5 months pregnant with Rhett. And we're there, and that culture is so used of people negotiating with them, and they almost take offense if you don't. And I had bought some bracelets and stuff like that for Emily, and they're like, I want $20, $25. Then they sell me 3 or 4 for $25 by the time you're done. Well, there was this little statue of this pregnant lady, and Emily fell in love with it. Of course, everybody knows. The guy selling it knows that Emily is pregnant, and he would not budge a penny. And I was this close of just walking away, and Emily's like, you are buying that thing for me. I don't care what it costs. And it's still in the house. It's kind of cool just because she was in Haiti pregnant with Rhett when we were there. But, yeah, the old walk-away power is a beautiful thing. But like you said, if you show up and you fall in love with it, and the sales rep or the person selling it realizes that, you don't have any power there. So, yeah. So let's talk about some, other life changes. You guys bought your first house here earlier this year, I believe, and talk about coaching Joey, and talk about Shelbyville being home, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so we bought our first home in January, which that was a major change to our life. Thanks to Bob, he came out and helped us do some remodeling work on that house. Now we're really happy with it. Coaching my son in soccer is an interesting experience. Never played soccer my entire life. And they're all 4 and 5 years old, so it's basically like herding cats. Can't get them to stand in line for more than 30 seconds, but they're all great kids. Actually, right now we are currently 4-1 for the season, so we're doing really well, and it's been a new experience. My wife, Marissa, is actually the assistant coach, so that's just cool to be a part of that for my son. Having both parents incorporated in that. It's just a great experience.
So the real reason you're 4-1 is the assistant coach. Is that what you're?
I would say so. We'll give her credit because I know she's going to listen to this. But I put in all the back labor, on coaching the kids. So.
Yeah, coaching 4 and 5 years old is like running sales team. I think you guys are like herding cats too some days. But no, yeah. And just kids at that age, man, they're so fun. They're so innocent. They're interested in the freaking dandelions or the grass, and not even – I remember when Rhett played T-ball, everybody would chase after the ball. Then they would all, stand there and look at it all right, what are we going to do with it? And pick it up and, throw it that away, and it would end up, back that away. So what are some of the best – what do you like about the job? What do you like about serving our customers? Because we used to tease you that you closed all the grandmas there.
Oh, yeah.
That one lady, I think, invited you over for tea and cookies 3 times after we did the roof and after you were paid in full, So just, talk about, what you enjoy about the job and, some of the people that you met. And, there's always them few customers that are always just a total joy to work with.
So I guess personally, what I enjoy about the job, in regards to my own personal experiences, is the freedom of the job. You know, like Bob said, it is long hours, a lot of work. However, in a position like this, you're not just a number. You know, I came from a factory, whereas it doesn't matter. If a close relative, died yesterday, they're going to give you, a strict 2 days off work or whatever it may be. There's no kind of compassion. So I guess coming here was a major switch for me, because everyone's very compassionate. So that's a great benefit of working here, and just, being treated like a person and rather than just a number. The other thing I like about it is, is I get to be out and about all day. I'm not tied down to one place. I'm driving all over the state of Central, driving all over the state of Indiana, and just, enjoying my time, being outside. What I like about dealing with customers is just the satisfaction you get from seeing how happy a customer is when they get a complete remodel on the exterior of their home. I've had several customers that, replaced their siding, their gutters, soffit, their roof, and everything. And it's just an amazing experience to watch that person's home going from old and outdated to just brand new and a completely new look. And that really makes me happy to see us please our customers that way.
Well, and I mean, you really do. We've got a solid sales team, but you're a big part of that, and just the satisfied customers. Like you said, like just that the transformation and that, and that is joy, because like you said, you see it. You see it unfold. Right between your eyes. So. Okay, so another thing, I wanted to bring this up and just kind of talk, because I want you to share a little bit of this journey that you and Marissa are going through right now, and it's not necessarily an easy journey as a male to really talk about, but Joey is your stepson. I've always respected the hell out of you because you always call him your son, and Joey, I love that little turd, man. Like, when he comes in the office, I'm feeding him candy, I'm hyping him up, I'm giving him a hat or something, and just, little kids just want attention, or some little candy or toy or, whatever that is. But, you guys are, actively trying to have more kids. And, it's something that you guys are struggling with, man. And it's not an uncommon thing out there. And I just feel like sometimes we're afraid, to share that journey, but you just never know who's going to watch this or who's going to hear this and, be inspired that, you talk about that. And, and I'll say it right here. And I've looked you in the eyes and said the same thing, that, I believe in miracles, and I believe we believe in a powerful God. And he may just reach down and touch Marissa one night, and it may be that night that you guys conceive, and you guys have that precious gift from God. So just share a little bit about that, if you would, and just share about that.
Okay, so about 2 years ago, my wife and I decided that we wanted to have another child. As Bob mentioned, little Joey, he's my stepson. So we were wanting to have a child of our own. We tried for about a year, and it just wasn't happening. We had family members, friends, and everyone give you the same kind of spiel that everyone gives you is, oh, you've only been doing it for about a year. Nothing's wrong with you. Just hold out. Well, my wife, she didn't like that answer, so she said, no, we're gonna go get this figured out. Turns out that we are unable to have a baby naturally. So we've kind of been going through the journey of IVF, and it's been a long, painful one for us. However, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. If it never happens, at the end of the day, we have each other. But that's just another great motivation that reflects in my sales as well, because I'm striving for something. That's one of my biggest goals in life right now. It's a very expensive thing to do. So that helps me hold myself accountable for when I'm feeling lazy. It just makes me realize that, hey, I need to get up. I need to go work. because we have this goal, my wife and I, and I'm determined to reach it. So it hasn't been an easy journey to go through, but there is people out there, doctors and stuff, that can help you figure out what you need to do.
Absolutely. And like I said, I just wanted to talk about that for a minute, just because, as your leader, I've called you a few times that you've been at appointments or going to appointments, and it's just, I can hear it in your voice, man, and it breaks my heart, because there's things that I question sometimes God about, like, why can't a good, loving family have a kid? And we have some people out there that, from the outside, I guess we could selfishly say they don't deserve kids, and it's not our place, and there are no accidents. And I was actually thinking about Riley today. Like, Emily had a miscarriage right before we conceived with Riley, and little Ry being my baby, being the youngest one, I just picked her up from preschool. Like, I'm like, oh wow, like, if we didn't have that miscarriage, then we wouldn't have Riley, and that wasn't an accident. And when we went through that miscarriage, it was a bad, hard, trying time on me and Emily, so it's just, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and, sometimes we just have to trust in a greater plan that we don't understand, and that's one thing that, we went through. You've been through that training like a lot of the team members have. And, one thing that I really appreciated about that training was they talked about, like, just go live life every day. Like, do you sit there and fret what's going to happen tomorrow and what's going to happen Friday and what's going to happen Saturday? If you do, you live a pretty freaking miserable life, because it's like, you know what? Yeah, you got to control some things and be strategic about whatever, but at the end of the day, we're not in control, and that's sometimes, hard for us to take. So, what else? Doing anything else? Coaching any other sports? Anything fun coming up with that, or any big plans, trips, anything like that?
As of now, not really. I would like to start coaching T-ball next year. My son seems to really, really enjoy soccer, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see if he ends up playing T-ball. That's a sport that I do know, which will be a whole lot easier to coach, because I know that if he sticks with soccer, once he starts to get into the older leagues, I will probably have to step aside, because I don't know a whole lot about soccer, whereas right now, it's basically just pass, kick, and score, so that's easy to coach. But I'd like to coach him in T-ball. We'll see how that plays out. As of right now, not really any big trips. Just kind of gonna hold it down for the rest of the year and work as hard as I can.
So, did you go to RoofCon with us last year, Cody?
I did go to RoofCon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got that coming up in November. So I'm excited to that for a team trip and whatnot. So yeah, that's always fun. Yeah, because you couldn't make the Dallas sales. That's right. Chris and Nick went to that. Okay. I was trying to remember who went where. So no, I mean, and yeah, you guys did a couple family trips this year, which was good for you, So I just didn't know if you guys had. I guess maybe I should have called Marissa and asked her what the plans were. So
yeah, Marissa usually makes all the plans for me. She other than work, she pretty much writes my schedule outside of work. So she just tells me where to be at what time, and I'm there. So.
Yeah, and sometimes you take your son to school when he's not supposed to be there.
Yep, I have done that before. I've taken my son to school on days that he's not supposed to be there. Yeah, that's a funny story, actually. Last year when he was in preschool, he was going about 3 days a week. I believe it was Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which if my wife hears this and I'm wrong, I'll be hearing about it later. But I took him on one of his off days, dropped him off, and went back to our house, because that was actually at the time that we had just bought our house and I was working on remodeling. So I went home, started remodeling the house. I didn't pick up her call, so the school actually had to call my wife and have her leave work to come pick up our son, because he wasn't supposed to be in class that day.
Oh, shoot. I just remember when you told us that story. So, yeah, that was just – that's always a chuckle for me. But, yeah, kind of as we wrap this up, Cody, I mean, I just want to thank you for your dedication, your loyalty to me and Emily, to Hoel Roofing. We're very fortunate to have a great team that you got. Well, I mean, we'll help each other out, and there's none of this finger pointing like that's not my job, And that's what makes a small business successful. If it's Adam behind the camera now, sometimes he's answering the phones. Since Ellie decided to have a baby on us and decided she needed a couple extra weeks off, we love you, Ellie. We appreciate you. But, that kind of stuff, it's just coming together and helping each other out. And, I actually just saw this from a couple of days ago. A year ago, Chris had sent me a message and said that he looked forward in helping to train you the way Nick had helped train him, so you could be successful like he had been successful. And that's, like I said, that goes back to your guys' friendship and your bonding since sixth grade. But it's really fun to have that kind of team, that kind of culture, around here. So I'll give you the mic to, spit any words of wisdom or an encouragement to somebody, and we'll go from there.
I guess all I have to say, if you're struggling with anything, it doesn't matter what it is, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Today does not decide your entire future. And I guess if you have a goal, work towards it, work your hardest, just always stay busy, but never put your family last. Make sure you're making time for your family, and you'll get where you want to be.
All right, guys. Hey, Cody, thank you. Marissa, if you're watching us, thank you for your love and support to Cody. And guys, we appreciate you listening in on this edition of the Hoel Roofing and Remodeling Podcast. Have a great day.
Thank you.